Boosie back in trouble again as he facing jail time behind an assault. And this was a pretty good year for him. Well, actually, legally, a great year for him because that weapons charge, that gun charge that he had, felon in possession, right? In January, he pretty much beat that. That could have had him looking at some time away, but he ended up with some pretty good terms there. All the other stuff with Vlad and money and all that, Boosie be fine. He's got a big name in the game. He'll collect his bag where needed. You know what I'm saying? Whether he got to over hustle for it or not, he is a hustler. He'll get to his money. But it's the legal stuff. It's like Boosie be coming off like he went through that murder trial, you know what I'm saying, a long time ago, and a lot of other stuff along the way, even before the gun charge. It's just like he's gotten to a place where he's learned a lot of lessons, and he be coming off real humble, man. It's just like, damn, it's like certain people just can't get out the way of legal problems, please. But this one, I'm gonna read the situation after we play this feedback from his lawyer. The situation reads pretty bad, and it would be something like, "Yo, you crashed out, Boosie. Like, you can't be doing that type of shit at this point in your career, this point in life." But let's hear from his lawyer first.
Well, cause was read by the state. They alleged that Mr. Hatch hit someone in the head with a hookah bottle, a security guard at this club dome.
And what's the charge?
Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He's doing good. So we plan to vigorously defend him and investigate the case and see where we are. We believe he was defending another person. And so we want to be able to show the state that and hopefully get this case dismissed. So today the judge set an $85,000 bond and allowed Mr. Hatch to do a walkthrough bond, which allows for him to go with a bail bonding company and make the bond. The bond conditions are to stay away from the place where this situation occurred, as well as to not have any contact with the complaining witness in the case. And we have a new court date of September 15th. I just would ask everyone to reserve judgment and let this case play out in the courthouse, in the courtroom, and not in the media. The probable cause was read by the state. They alleged that Mr. Hatch.
Wait. The media is going to do what the media does. The bloggers, the podcast, the posts, the websites, everything. It's everywhere at this point. Everybody's covering it. 1090 Jake got a video up. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? So you're not going to get the opportunity to remove this from the public. But let's read in the background the circumstances that it says. It says rapper Boosie Badass, legal name Torrance. I don't need to say his whole government here, is facing felony aggravated assault charges after allegedly smashing a glass hookah base over a Houston nightclub bouncer's head on May 24th, 2026. So he's posted bond by now. The name of the guy is Englehart. Received 8 staples to his head behind that. I'll still say allegedly. The specific sequence of events surrounding the case include the altercation. The incident occurred at closing time at the Dome nightclub in Houston. Englehart reportedly refused to let a female relative of Boosie use a closed restroom, prompting the woman to allegedly strike Englehart in the face. The alleged strike as Englehart escorted her out of the venue and bent down to pick up her dropped belongings. He reported being struck in the head with a hard object. Englehart turned around and saw blood running down his face and Boosie holding a glass hookah base. The legal aftermath, the arrest warrant was issued, and Boosie later turned himself in. He posted an $85,000 bond. He's out right now. The defense, Boosie attorneys Carlay Moore, that's the person I was just speaking, has stated that Boosie was attempting to de-escalate the situation and defend his relative and requested that the public reserve judgment while they investigate the club surveillance footage. I gather a lot here, people. The attorney taking the position of this is him trying to de-escalate and defend somebody else. Well, if you're defending somebody else, you're pretty much at that point admitting that your client, Boosie, was involved in a physical altercation. So there's no route of like, this guy's just lying on him. Somebody else did it. Maybe he saw somebody else. I mean, you remove it. It looks like you're already going that route, and you may have to because of the cameras. You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to say like, my client didn't do nothing. So you're now painting a direction instead of, was it self-defense? Was you helping somebody? Now, if this was a regular patron, I think that angle plays much easier. Like somebody else in the club gets into it with this person that's with Boosie, allegedly a family member, and happens to be a woman, and Boosie, activates, and whatever happens. Whoever wins, whoever loses, loses. But it's a security guard, right? Security guards are expected to also have a level of physicality based on the situations. We want security guards to keep their hands to themselves, but how it's pretty common for a security guard to physically escort somebody out of a club if they're, acting out or something like that. Now that report is saying that he wouldn't let somebody use a bathroom that was closed down. It sounds so stupid, but I've been there before. Dreas is notorious for that. You ever been to a Dreas nightclub in Vegas? You ever rent if you have one of the sections in the booths upstairs that's around the banister, you go directly downstairs to that bathroom. That's like past the lockers, right? It's like real easy and accessible. But if you try to go down there towards the end of the night, it's all barricaded. And even if you got a section right there, you can't go. And it's like, it's all this people running around with huge let out. If you don't stay in that hotel, you probably got to get your orders to find a bathroom. If you find one real close to you, it's probably got a long line in front of it. And you find yourself arguing with the security guards, like, let me just use this fucking bathroom right here, please. I done been there or had those arguments before. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit really happens more than you think. It sounds small, but that shit be escalating. I don't think it should escalate to a fight. When security guards piss me off like that, I argue a little bit. If they don't fold, I just be like, all right, man, fuck it. And I turn around, I walk away. I'm not going to go but so far over arguing if I can use the fucking bathroom or not. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds like, allegedly, he's physically putting this girl out. And he got bust over the back of the head with a glass hookah bottle by Boosie. Now, did Boosie know that this was a security guard? If he did, allegedly, if he actually did this allegedly, and then if he actually did it to a knowing security guard, that's stupid. You're little Boosie. There's cameras around. I don't even want to do the whole thing of where's your security guards. Like, it may not be a security guard situation. It might just be like a security guard doing his job, not a security guard with Boosie. As if Boosie was ever in danger. He's just the one that allegedly picks up a hookah bottle and say, oh, somebody touching my cousin. Crack. But what did he see based on the route that his lawyer is already taking? He was trying to defend somebody. So did you know that was a security guard putting your peoples out the club? If so, you could argue, you could fuss a little bit, but you ain't going to hit a security guard because they're doing what they think is their job. You just got to get to a point where you say, fuck this club. We out, Or a surveillance footage going to come out that the security guard was doing too much in Boosie's defense, doing too much, like slamming her around, ragdolling her, hurting her, got her screaming or whatever. If he's just escorting her out and catches a bottle to the back of the head, then you're in trouble, buddy. You know what I mean? So the devil's going to be in the details with this one. That footage is going to matter a lot. You know what I'm saying? What does it look like is happening to this woman? And are you going to successfully be able to pull off that, Boosie was really just defending his peoples? And being a woman looks better too. I was a defenseless woman, man. I was helping out. That's my sister. That's my cousin, whatever. That's my blood relative. And this guy's just ragdolling her. What was I supposed to do? He's a 300-pound guy. They say he's a security guard, right? 300-pound guy ragdolling my cousin. I mean, so I don't know. Will they take into account his priors and his legal problems in the past, whatever? That happens sometimes, but it just feels like Boosie damn. And I don't even look at him like a troublemaker. He don't be coming off at this point in his career like a troublemaker. He come off like a guy that just like, it just keeps coming my direction. But if you're wrong, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, Boosie's too old to be just flipping out over something that's not worth it and cracking somebody over the back of the head in the club. So we'll keep our eyes on the details and see what more comes from this, but to be continued.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
One of the toughest characters ever to bulldog his way
Welcome to the house
into
of. And shout out to them.
Without my, they still got a gun.